I am deeply humbled by this honor, and I have to begin by thanking God, and I know this is not an award show, but the options, the opportunities, the pathways, and the doors that have been opened in my life have all been divinely ordered, and I'm grateful. Professionally, I like to thank the New Hanover County Schools Board of Education, New Hanover County Schools senior staff led by Dr. Tim Markley, and in his absence, Dr. Rick Holliday, the Educator of the Year Selection Committee, my colleagues who do this work every day, and it is challenging work, and we give our lives and our passion to it to make the lives of children better. And thank you for making me better. A special thank you to Dr. Lauren Keflanitis for being an excellent representative and an ambassador for our administrators this past year. Professionally, I have worked at several schools with some incredible staffs, but I would like to acknowledge the staff at the former Gregory School of Science, Mathematics, and Technology for helping me truly understand what it means to be a strong school leader and then giving me the opportunity to grow into one. The staff at Anderson Elementary School, home of the Awesome Admirals. That's where I currently serve, and I continue to love working with this staff, and I like to thank them for raising the bar, taking risks with me every day, allowing me to push them, and for always being anchored in excellence for each other, for children, and families. Now, this is going to be the hard part because my family is watching in Burlington, North Carolina, on live stream. And they said, "What is live stream? We ought to be there with you." And I told them they might be just a little overly confident, but here I am. I want to thank the men in my life, my husband Derek and my son Xavier, who is probably not watching on live stream. They understand and accept my passion for this work, and oftentimes they sacrifice a lot. And they get sometimes what's left after I've given a lot to a lot of other children and families. I love them, and I don't thank them enough for allowing me to be passionate about this work and to do this work. I have had the opportunity, and the committee heard a lot about my story, which I won't share tonight, but I've had an opportunity and been blessed to connect with my father after a lot of years. My mother was a single mother, a young mother. And Joe Hooker, I want to acknowledge him as well, because that's a blessing. A lot of folks don't get that opportunity. Now, there's a whole lot of girl power behind this lady who stands before you. And I'm going to begin with my 93-year-old Big Mom. She's not watching on live stream. She's asleep in the Oaks of Alamance Nursing Home tonight, Mildred Trollinger. When my mother was pregnant as a high school senior, my Big Ma helped to raise me, and she had the wisdom to enroll me in a Head Start program, one of the first ones in Alamance County over 40 years ago. In fact, she began my journey in education. My mama, Elizabeth, taught me the value of hard work. She had to sacrifice a job with the local government, and she has toiled in the textile mills of Alamance County all these years. But she works hard. She knows the value of working for what you want, and I'm driven because of her. My Aunt Gwen, who is a retired teacher, first allowed me to play school in her classrooms every summer when she was getting ready to welcome her new students. She wanted me to staple or put up a bulletin board, and I was in home living, dressing up. My Aunt Becky, who I know is watching, she didn't finish high school herself, but she made me rewrite and redo my homework over and over again just to make it neat enough. And she'd be sad to know that my handwriting is still terrible. I want to acknowledge some great teachers who've impacted my life: Judy Bradshaw and Susan Walton from elementary school, and Vivian Moore Miller, my 10th grade world history teacher at Cummings High School. I know none of you can imagine that I was a feisty little girl who was sassy every now and then and made a few trips to the principal's office. Well, I did. But these teachers, they got a hold of me, as the old folks would say, And they said, we see something in you, girl. You can behave better. You're smarter than that. And you got a bright future if you just focus and do the right thing. And because they believed in me and my potential, I believed in me too. That's the power that we have in education. And there's a whole lot of power right here in this room, in this county. We have unlimited power to speak life into children every day. And we can't just assume that someone else is going to do it. If you think or feel or have a notion that there's greatness in a kid, tell them. Take the time. Don't assume that because they come from a certain home or a certain background that someone has taken the time to say to them, you're great, you're awesome, you're better than what I saw out there on the playground. Be a leader, be a motivator, be a good friend. Whatever it is that we believe about young people, and we tell them, they'll begin to believe it too. There's power in our words. And we have to be bold enough to use that power, because someone did it for me, and it changed the trajectory of my life. I love that word. I could have gone down any number of paths. Statistics would not have me standing here before you. But oh, here I stand, and I'm so thankful. And I want to challenge you to harness that power, unleash it, and be bold enough to speak life into our children. And I guarantee you, they'll become whatever it is that we believe that they can be. Thank you.